Honourable Minister for Maritime Affairs, Federal Ministers, Chief of Naval Staff, senior leadership of the Armed Forces, delegates and exhibitors. Assalamu alaikum. It is a pleasure for me to address the inaugural ceremony of Pakistan International Maritime Exhibition and Conference 2023. I congratulate the Pakistan Navy, the Chief of Naval Staff, the Ministry of Maritime Affairs, and the National Institute of Maritime Affairs and other partners for the organization of this premier edition of the PIMEC in conjuncture with the multinational maritime exercise Aman. I extend a warm welcome to the participants of Aman and PIMEC and representatives of academia, maritime stakeholders who will be enriching the deliberations of the International Maritime Conference. The idea of holding the first PIMEC along with the Aman Exercise 2023 bears testimony to its inextricability and linkages between peace, security, and prosperity. The Aman Exercise remains the largest of its kind in the Western Indian Ocean. They symbolize Pakistan's vision of tackling maritime security challenges and realizing the shared objectives of peace and order at the sea through international cooperation and collaborative efforts. Likewise, building on the success of Aman, PIMEC can serve as a platform for shared prosperity and a gateway for international manufacturers and suppliers of maritime technologies to explore new avenues of cooperation through joint ventures, outsourcing, and collaborations. Ladies and gentlemen, as early as the 5th century BC, a Greek strategist noted, "Whoever can hold the seas has command of everything." This was a due recognition of the fact that the oceans have always been central to the sustenance of life on Earth. Apart from being a source of livelihood from times immemorial, living and non-living resources, oceans and seas have been conduits for travel, trade, and means of connecting civilizations. The contemporary global challenges of climate change reminds us of the significant role of oceans as regulators of natural climate, recyclers of the world's carbon dioxide, and a principal supplier of life-sustaining oxygen. Around 90% of global trade by volume and 70% by value travels via sea. This figure is a remarkable demonstration of not only the significance of maritime domain for international trade, but also of the interdependence of the global economies and the collective interests of all states to ensure that their approaches towards maritime security and the utilization of marine resources remain guided by the spirit of cooperation and collaboration. The Indian Ocean is an economic reservoir of natural resources, both living and non-living. It contains countless varieties of fish, deep-sea minerals, and fossil fuels, in addition to the vast potential for tourism. Nearly half of the global seaborne trade and 70% of the global traffic of petroleum traverses through the Indian Ocean. The Northern Arabian Sea itself is a resource rich with immense potential to contribute towards Pakistan's economic development. Accordingly, the development of the blue economy is essential to realize this potential, especially in the areas of energy and food security and the exploration of mineral wealth. Development of efficient shipbreaking industry, transshipment ports, fisheries industry, coastal tourism, water sports, aquaculture are a few areas which merit our attention. We must also have more focus on conservation and sustainability so that we can not only benefit from our ocean resources, but also ensure sustainable benefit. for future generations. To achieve maximum results, integration of public-private partnership amongst maritime industries is a must. New idea and entrepreneurship and management skills mastered by the private sector are indispensable for success in all public sector industries, including defense. The potential of academic and R&D organizations must be incorporated for enhancing efficiency and productivity for our maritime sector. At the government level, we will continue to strive and create a business and environment friendly in an environment for investment in human capital and professional development in this demand-driven industry. Ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan carries out more than 95% of its trade via the sea. The economy of Pakistan is therefore wedded to sea-based commerce. Our vision of geoeconomics is built around Pakistan's ideal location to act as a hub of trade and energy connectivity and integration between Asia, Europe, and Africa. Our security and economic independence on the sea makes it necessary for Pakistan to build international partnerships in maritime domain for developing the blue economy and preserving the security of sea lines of communication against the threats posed by terrorism, piracy, drug trafficking, human smuggling, and arms proliferation. Pakistan has therefore been playing an active role in the combined task forces 150 and 151 against terrorism, piracy, and other illicit activities. Pakistan Navy has commanded these multinational task force on several occasions with distinction. As a party to the Law of the Sea Convention, Pakistan is strongly committed to the rights and obligations of states concerning the governance of oceans, their resources, navigation rights, and freedoms. The current global security environment is characterized by unprecedented challenges. There is a need to avoid exclusive geopolitical constructs that do not align with the historical, cultural, or geographical realities of the areas spanned by the Indian and Pacific Oceans. Humanity can ill afford divisive approaches in the face of formidable common challenges faced by all of us today. The traditional security threats are compounded by the challenges of pollution, environmental degradation, climate change, global warming, and rising sea levels. It is the primary responsibility of all states to ensure economic well-being of the people through a sustainable utilization of maritime resources while navigating these challenges. Given the enormity and global nature of the problems, cooperative and inclusive approaches will be required in the maritime domain. Ladies and gentlemen, let me conclude by once again commending the efforts of the Minister of Maritime Affairs and the personal interests of the Chief of Naval Staff for taking this initiative to organize the PIMEC and exhibit the best of Pakistan's maritime sector. I hope that this landmark event will provide an opportunity to meaningfully engage for the promotion of international cooperation and progress. I am sure that the platform of the International Maritime Conference will be effectively utilized for in-depth deliberations of the issues I have outlined briefly. I thank you all. Pakistan Zindabad.